Okay, very first one, guys, is going to surprise you because you've probably heard the exact opposite of what I'm about to tell you. And that is, most guys over 50 under-train. That's right, they don't train enough, they don't train hard enough specifically, they don't have the intensity, all right? They're not hitting those weights hard enough, or the bands, okay, or even using your body weight. They're just not pushing themselves hard enough. Most men over 50 really are used to just sliding, okay? Everything's on cruise control. They're not exercising, okay? They're not used to feeling that pain that comes with actually pushing yourself, being out of breath, sweating, okay? Feeling that lactic acid in their muscles. And that, guys, is the key. If you don't push yourself hard enough, you're not going to see results.
Primal is a template for, I think, living your optimal life. Primal takes the clues from evolution and applies modern-day genetic science in a manner that allows you to reprogram your genes for optimal health, to lose weight, to have more energy, to not be as hungry, to sleep better, to have less stress in your life. All of these things are available through the inputs that we give our genes. And those inputs are sort of dictated by our evolution, what our genes expect of us. And so the Primal Blueprint looks at all these behaviors that we can sort of superimpose on that lifestyle to achieve those sorts of benefits.
All right, the second thing I think people make a big mistake on is they don't train legs, or they don't train them enough or hard enough, all right? Everybody wants to have a great looking upper body, and everybody neglects their legs, okay? That is it's ubiquitous, okay? Especially for guys, all right? But legs are 50% of the muscle mass in your body, guys, and that's what people just don't realize. And then the other thing, it's even more important for guys over 50 to train legs than young guys, and that is because, first of all, we just don't use them much, all right? When you're young, you're running around, you're walking up and down the stairs. When you get older, you're taking the elevator or the escalator, all right? You're not playing sports anymore, so your legs are not getting used. And then what you guys don't realize is when you work your legs, you literally send signals to your brain to ramp up production of testosterone. So hitting big muscle groups like your legs hard literally does wonders for your hormones, and we need it more than the young guys do, right? So our testosterone levels have been dropping ever since we hit about 30 years old. I mean, 1, sometimes 2% a year, and that adds up real fast, guys. So testosterone is really important to building muscle as you get older, and one of the best ways to ramp up your testosterone is to hit your legs.
Primal and paleo differ, not so much anymore, but originally there was a huge difference. Paleo was basically a diet that was loosely considered the caveman diet. Primal has always been about a broader construct of the paleo diet, but also includes sleep, sun exposure, play, using your brain, a lot of other aspects of a total life.
All right, number 3, and that is people use too much weight. Now, I see it at the gym a lot, all right? So you guys working out at home don't have to deal with that ego problem, all right, that you see at the gym. You got the mirrors and the girls and all the other guys that you're trying to impress, all right? So it's not as likely to happen if you're working out at home, but still, if you're using too much weight, then you're not going to be able to use good form, all right? And when you're not using good form, you're really just not going to get that muscle contraction nearly as much as if you're focusing on the form over the weight, okay? So it's all about picking the correct amount of weight to do for a certain number of reps. Now, how do you do that, all right? So Gary and I are going to have a little bit different takes on this, but when you're doing my workout programs, and if I tell you to do 10 reps, okay, I want you to pick a weight that is really difficult to do for 10 reps. So if you get to that 10th rep and you know deep down you could have done another 5 or 6, all right, you didn't pick a heavy enough weight, all right? So that is how you determine what's the correct weight for you. And I promise, guys, form is way more important than the amount of weight. you use. So if you're using a really light weight, you can literally slow down the movement, whatever it is, okay? And you will make that weight feel artificially heavier to the muscles because the time under tension is going to go way, way up. All right, and that is the key. Matter of fact, if you've never even set foot in a gym, just trust me, I'm in the gym all the time, and there's some big, giant bodybuilders in there, and you will be surprised how light the weights are these big guys use. I mean, they're much bigger than me, and I'll see them curling 60-pound barbell, okay, which is not very impressive. But these guys are going real slow, and they do lots of reps and lots of sets, and they just really focus on the squeeze. They're not really worried about lifting the weight. They're concentrating on the muscles that they're working, and that is key.
So if you're already primal, you're probably keeping your carbs to 120, 130 grams a day. I mean, if you're really primal, you have cut out sugars and sweetened beverages and pies, cakes, candies, cookies, and breads and pasta and cereal, and you've come down to basically eating a lot of vegetables and maybe some starchy tubers as your main source of carbohydrate. So in order to go from primal to keto, all you have to do really is find like 50 or 60 of those grams of carbs in your day that you're willing to give up for a period of time and kind of force your body to rebuild some machinery to access and burn stored fat. I think the keto reset is pretty much for everybody. I think, with varying degrees of success, anyone would be well served to try a keto reset for a couple of weeks, for 6 weeks, or whatever. If it doesn't work, or it doesn't work as well as you expected, no harm, no foul. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. But if it does work, you open your world up to a whole new realm of possibilities. These types of diets don't have to be hard. They can be if you focus on all the things you can't eat. But if you focus on all the things that you can eat, and if you're mindful of how you eat, and if you're mindful of doing the work and building the metabolic machinery to access your own stored body fat for energy so that you get a hold of your appetite, hunger, and cravings, and those diminish, then this becomes a very easy lifestyle. In fact, that's one of the greatest testimonials I've gotten over the years, is that, yes, I lost 150 pounds, or I got off my meds, or I've, my PCOS has gone away, or I'm no longer type 2 diabetic, but Mark, I feel like I can live this way for the rest of my life. I don't feel like it's going to be a struggle from day to day. This is something I know I can do.
All right, mistake number 4 men over 50 make is they really don't understand the significance of nutrition. That is a huge, huge thing, and it happens all the time to everybody, including myself. I mean, I'm guilty of not eating properly or eating enough or the right foods and all that kind of stuff on a regular basis. So guys, nutrition includes water, okay? Especially if you're trying to lose fat, you're going to be really surprised at how effective just drinking lots of water is at shedding fat, okay? People are always blown away by that because it's just too simple, all right? So I know people who literally needed to lose 100 pounds, okay? And I've worked with them, and before they started dieting, before they started working out, doing any kind of a program, all they did for a month was drink a gallon of water every day, all right? And in a month, this guy lost 20 pounds just by doing that, nothing else, okay? Now he's gonna plateau, okay? Now he's gotta add in the rest of the nutrition and the exercise, all right? But water, eating the correct foods, and then part of this, okay, I'm gonna lump it in together, sleep, okay? So you guys that are stressed out, working late at night, going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 6 a.m., getting 4 hours sleep, okay? That ain't gonna hack it, all right? So, if you wanna build muscle, you tear it down during the day while you're exercising, all right? You're actually creating little micro tears in the muscle fibers. You're damaging our muscles. That's the goal, actually, okay? That's part of the reason you get sore, all right? And then your muscles repair at night when you're sleeping, all right? So if you're not getting enough rest, literally, you'll tear them down, all right? The muscles are down here, and then they won't get back to where they were the previous day. So the goal is you tear the muscles down, you sleep, and when you sleep, the muscles slightly overcompensate. So literally they come back a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger than the previous day. Your body is just like that. It's smart, all right? You do that hundreds of times, your body overcompensates hundreds of times, and then slowly but surely, those muscles are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But if you don't sleep enough, all right, those muscles never have time to overcompensate. They never get back to where they were the previous day. So you're just basically spinning your wheels, guys. You're going to be pedaling really hard during the day. You're not going to get much out of your workouts. That's going to be really frustrating. So food, water, and sleep are key.
So the keto reset is what I would call next level primal. So primal is sort of a baseline that I think everybody should live and should follow if they want to optimize their health and their fitness and their longevity. Keto is kind of the next level of accessing even greater health and more energy and a slightly more ideal body composition, because it drills down into your metabolic flexibility. So going keto allows you to adjust your metabolic flexibility so you have more energy, you burn fat with even greater efficiency, you build muscle with even greater efficiency, and all those things are I think what most people want.
All right, guys, the fifth and last mistake I see guys do, and let me tell you, I do it too. All right, so I can't blame you guys, and that is you don't warm up right, okay? Or you don't warm up at all. All right, so this is what you need to do. You need to get the blood flowing. You need to get your temperature elevated, all right? And I don't care how you do it. You can do jumping jacks. You can get on a stationary bike. You can go jog around the block a little bit. You can do some burpees. It doesn't really matter, okay? Just kind of get the blood flowing, warm those joints up, your ligaments, your tendons, the muscles, okay? So that's part of the warm-up. And that is the part that I neglect the most, okay? So I'm guilty of it. The second part of your warm-up that I'm really good at is you need to warm up the muscles with some resistance, all right? So if I'm doing, say, chest, all right, if I'm focusing on a single muscle group that day, technically I should get on the stationary bike for a few minutes, kind of get the blood flowing, all right? Then go over, and then I get on the very first chest exercise I'm going to do for the day, all right? And I pick a stupid lightweight. Let's say I'm doing dumbbells, presses, okay, on an incline bench. So I might work my way all the way up to 100-pound dumbbells by the end of the workout, okay? Well, I'm going to start off with a pair of 30-pound dumbbells, which is real light for me, like just baby light. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to do 10 reps. Now, I might be able to do 50 or 100 reps if I push myself hard, but that's not the point. You're just trying to force some blood into the muscles, get the ligaments and tendons kind of ready to accept more stress, okay? And then I'll wait a minute and I'll go to a slightly heavier warm-up set. Now these don't count as my working sets, all right? All right, so I'll do a set of 30 pounds, then a set of 40, and then a set of 50. And I would consider all three of those sets warm-up sets. They don't count. All they're doing is getting my body ready and prepared. And the other thing, it's really kind of hard to explain, but you have a neuromuscular response, all right? Your brain has to send signals to the muscles. And part of being able to lift a heavy weight and push yourself really hard is getting that connection working properly. So, I can't just roll out of bed and go do this, all right? So it takes me a while to get my body going, and it's not just physical, it's mental, okay? So you really do have to train yourself to get the mind-muscle connection working properly. And I can't really explain or give you any tips other than start with a light weight and literally focus on the movement and the muscles that you're using, and that's it. And then put that weight down. Don't get fatigued, okay? Give it a little bit, and then pick a slightly heavier weight. So that is a fantastic way to warm up, in addition to the cardio where you're doing the jumping jacks, or you're running in place, or you're on a stationary bike. Those are two different types of warm-up routines, and I think it's great to do both, okay? So find something that you like to do, that you can do, okay, at home. Warm up your body, and then when you're getting to the weightlifting or the bands, dumbbells, it doesn't matter. Whatever the first exercise is, do at least 3 lightweight, super easy warm-up sets before you get into your workout. Okay, guys, as you can tell, building muscle, especially after the age of 50, is not easy. Everything has to go right, all right, to build muscle when we get older. When you're young, it's much easier. You can get several things wrong and still put on muscle. The good old days are gone, trust me, all right? I left those behind 25 years ago. So what it means is we just need to get the information, and then you need to remember it, and then you have to put it into practice. And there really is a lot to this, okay? It's not just about getting into your den and throwing some dumbbells around and hoping, you know, everything goes right. So there's lots of things you have to do. And guys, I don't care if you have to write this down or not, but you need to do these 5 things, especially as you get older. Otherwise, you're going to be really frustrated because you are not going to be able to build nearly as much muscle as you would like to.
Well, that was some great advice from a couple of my favorite YouTubers. And if you liked what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe at the bottom, and follow the link at the end of the video to get some more great information. Thanks for watching.